Cleveland and Golden State are heading back to the finals, so that means it's time to wake up, NBA! Welcome to Wake Up NBA, presented by State Farm. I'm Ryan, she's Susanna. We thought maybe this time, not so long ago, that we were going to be talking about the Thunder as the Western Conference representative.
Didn't happen, sure didn't.
Didn't happen because in Game 6 and 7 combined, Golden State made 38 three-pointers.
That's all right.
Oklahoma
That's
City
good, right?
made 10.
Yeah.
10.
Woof.
That's not even a gulf of difference.
No.
That's a Grand Canyon.
I really thought OKC was going to win this series. I even felt good about Game 7, despite Game 6. I was like, and then the game just started happening, and I was like, I see how this is going to go.
That's the one hole in Steven Adams' game,
that
though.
third quarter just was like a...
If Steven Adams had just developed that perimeter jumper, just start draining him, he can be the one-man wrecking crew.
Yikes. Okay, so now it's the finals. We've got the matchup that everybody kind of wanted and anticipated.
Going back all the way to the beginning of the season, really? So everything was meaningless. Congratulations to every other team.
Exactly, and all is right with the world. Okay, so now it's a rematch between the Cavaliers and the Warriors, and we're going to talk about
the advantages
each team
holds,
and then the
liability,
something that could hold them back, prevent them from winning. So
that's trademarked.
So let's start.
Okay.
Let's start with Cleveland and the advantage that they have. Now Cleveland they've pretty much cruised through the playoffs. They've played 14 games, two little wobbles against Toronto. But my biggest advantage for them that they have going into this is that they're healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got Kyrie Irving healthy, they've got Kevin Love healthy, and if you recall last year, when those guys were not, it was a completely different story. They're shooting out of their minds. They have the best offensive rating in the first 3 rounds of the playoffs since the 96-97 season.
Wow.
16.
That's crazy.
They're playing really, really well, and the thing is that I don't even think that they have hit their ceiling offensively. I think that there's still work that they can do.
So you're saying this incredibly efficient team that was just blowing teams out can reach a second? That's not fair.
No, well,
that's
it
not
isn't.
Right.
But they haven't really. Their perimeter game has been incredible.
Yes.
Inside the paint, they haven't even really made that huge of an impact yet. And so I think that they're a team that is designed to do that. However, they are going up against the Warriors.
So I mean, it's so true what you're saying, because last year everybody said, well, look at what LeBron was surrounded with, the starting 5 that he was out there. Now we are exactly playing the what-if scenario, because we get to see pretty much the same Warrior squad go up against a healthy Cavs squad.
Yep.
I think the biggest advantage Golden State has going into the finals is that they play at a pace that the Cavs have not dealt with in the playoffs whatsoever.
The Cavs are a slow team.
Yes.
They could be fast. You look at that roster and you think that they should be faster, that they would play more in transition, but they don't.
I mean, Atlanta is the closest team in terms of possessions per game that approaches the Warriors. They're also the only team that came close in the playoffs, at least, to the number of three-pointers that Golden State's going to shoot. And nobody they've played has even approached Golden State when it comes to three-point efficiency.
No.
I mean, this is you talked about how good the Cavs have been beyond the arc. It's not like Golden State's been slouches.
Can we talk about how many three-pointers we're going to see?
A million. 1 million.
I think the record.
We're going to reach
the record goes back to 2013. The Heat and the Spurs combined for 125 three-pointers.
Cool.
I think it was going to be like 580.
580. Okay, I'm going to take the under on that, but I don't feel great about it. No, I mean, it absolutely will be the point where somebody's going to get a wide open layup, and we're going to say, should have stopped for the 3 on that one. All right, let's talk about weaknesses. Though. Do you want to start with Cleveland?
I'll start with Cleveland. And it's my weakness is interesting because in the same way that this sort of played into their strength, I also think this could be an Achilles heel. And that is because I believe the 2 key players for both teams For Cleveland, it's Kevin Love.
Yeah.
For the Warriors, it's Klay Thompson.
Who got no love whatsoever.
No love
after
whatsoever.
A fantastic Game 6 where he basically saved their asses.
Pretty much
Nothing.
saved their asses.
Yeah.
He's averaging over 26 points a game. Ridiculous.
He's been fantastic.
So the thing is that Kevin Love, who has played really well throughout these playoffs, those 2 games that they lost against Toronto, he disappeared. He literally disappeared. And it's almost as,
I shouldn't say that, because if you disappear, you can't go 1 of 9 from the field, which, I mean,
was good.
Come on.
Got that one
Awful.
right in there.
Awful.
So if I'm looking at that matchup and those 2 guys, I think Kevin Love has more of an ability to disappear.
Right.
And Klay Thompson is also better defensively. I think he can wreak some havoc on the perimeter, defend well against the Cavaliers' perimeter attack. And so I think that if Kevin Love doesn't show up for this series, it could be ugly.
Surely Kevin Love won't hear on the internet about that.
No.
But what does show up mean? Does he need to give them 20 points and 8 rebounds a night?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That is okay.
Yes.
We set the bar high because we believe in you. Not necessarily. I shouldn't go that far. Golden State, the troubling thing for me so far has been how shaky they've looked in the first quarter of games. You look at their numbers, the regular season, and in the Houston series, they average about 30 points a game. They were making about half of their field goal attempts. The Portland series, that dips to 26 points. The shooting goes down a little bit, but that was really where Steph Curry's absence was most acutely felt. So you can kind of understand it. And then against the Thunder, even in Game 7, the great win at home, Klay Thompson's a great example of this. Came out ice cold.
Yep.
Could not hit anything. They only average under 25 points per first quarter against the Thunder in that 7-game series.
Stat, Ryan.
Thank you. I have a bachelor's in research.
Stat.
And it worries me when you're talking about the Cavs, because the Thunder weren't able to take advantage of those slow starts and build that kind of huge lead where you can just say, you're going to go on your tear where you're going to score 10 straight points and we're still going to have a sizable lead.
Yep.
I think the Cavs can do that.
Yeah.
And
they absolutely have the pieces to do that.
I mean, Cleveland, they haven't lost when leading after the first quarter in this postseason. During the regular season, when they led after 40-5. Like, this is a team that if you start slow, this is not tortoise in the hare. They are just going to blow past you to the finish line. So I would watch out for that if you're a Golden State fan. But it's not just about Golden State fans.
No, it's
not just about Cleveland
it's
fans.
Not.
This is a whole basketball family here.
It is. There are 2 teams left, and chances are the team that you root for isn't in it.
Yeah. There are some obvious rooting interests you probably have right now if you're basketball fans. But we want to touch on sort of a user's guide to who you should be rooting for if you're elsewhere in the basketball universe.
I feel like we're going to piss off a lot of people.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we do every week.
This
Hi,
is
YouTube. So let's start with who should be rooting for the Cavs that we might not necessarily expect them.
This is so obvious.
Okay.
I mean, Chicago Bulls fans are like praying for the Cavs to win. I make no apologies for being a homer. You will not encounter a bigger homer than myself. Ryan can attest to this. Yes, I am from Chicago, and no, I do not want Golden State to win. I don't. No. So the '96 Bulls finished 87-13. The best that Golden State can do is 89-14.
Oh God, you've already started making it's okay.
Give me something. Give me something to hold on to. It's a cherished memory from my youth.
Right.
I believe all Chicago Bulls fans feel exactly the same way.
Yes.
They want to have this. You didn't win when it counted.
I will say it's a lot simpler argument if we just have that and not the rules are different, the style of play, blah, blah,
different defensive
Steph Curry's a
style,
cheater.
blah, blah.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
No.
Okay. Anybody else that should be rooting for Cleveland?
Well, we talked earlier, and I liked your suggestion
Okay.
about the Knicks should be cheering for Cleveland because they essentially gave them that entire lineup.
Yeah.
And they could feel like they're a part of something.
The Knicks are.
You're a part of it.
The Knicks are Cleveland's farm team. You know? And that's cool. That's great. They play a part in NBA history, even if it's not a direct one.
For you, New York.
On the other side of this, two groups, I should say, that should be rooting for the Warriors. First, the Timberwolves. They have not been to the playoffs in 12 straight years. They had this really nice young roster of Karl Anthony Towns and Ricky Rubio and Andrew Wiggins. It's kind of reminiscent of what the Warriors were not too long ago. They had a 15-year playoff drought. And built a nice young roster, multi-talented.
Sure.
Came out of nowhere relatively quickly and just sort of wrecked shop. I think if you're the Timberwolves, you're hoping that's the same model. I don't know that you're necessarily going to get there, especially given the fact that you drafted, in the Steph Curry draft, you took 2 guards before Golden State took Steph Curry.
Woo!
So you're kind of hoping that your past mistakes are behind you. That said, some of your recent picks look great. And the second group, San Diego Citizens.
I love this.
San Diego, the Chargers have never won a Super Bowl.
Nope.
The Padres have never won a World Series.
So sad.
San Diego has had 2 NBA teams leave, the Rockets and the Clippers. If Cleveland wins the NBA Finals, we are going to have all this talk. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to have about a week of the curse of Cleveland is lifted. It's no longer the same way we did with Boston. Where we're sort of like, it's no longer America's saddest, most miserable sports city. Congratulations. And then we're going to start searching for the next one. And it might be San Diego, especially because you might not have the Chargers all that long. That said, San Diego weather over Cleveland weather.
I was going to say.
Every day.
You live in San Diego.
Every day. You have a zoo.
San Diego.
Congratulations.
It is a beautiful city.
So let's wrap it up. Give me your pick. Who's going to win the NBA Finals? And in how many games?
I'm gonna say the Cavaliers are going to win it in 7. I think it's going full 7. I think this is it. I think LeBron wants this so badly. If this doesn't happen now, it's not going to happen for Cleveland.
Harsh.
Get it done.
I'll take Warriors in 6 just to be a jerk and disagree with you. Congratulations. All right, that's all we've got for this edition of Wake Up NBA, presented by State Farm. The finals start this week. Get excited because after this, there is no more basketball unless you're a Sixers fan. Till then, see you soon.